If CIG thinks they can simply put together another commercial and show us some new shiny ship that everyone's going to simply throw money at them again, they are sorely mistaken. It's not going to happen.
Something to change the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Montoya. Let's talk about the Kraken. Now, I arrived a day late. I was supposed to be there on Tuesday. I got there Wednesday. Thank you, Frontier, for canceling that flight. When I got there, the guys I was working with to set up the booth had already been in, and they had to sign NDAs. So they couldn't talk about what they saw. And I tried to ask them, what's in there that's so important you had to sign an NDA? I go, is it the Kraken? Because we knew there was going to be a ship called the Kraken coming. And they said, well, we can't tell you. I said, is there a model of the Kraken? Because last year in Citizencon, Germany, there was a Sabre model, which was made by JR Fabrications. By the way, more about them in a second. I asked, is there a model of the Kraken? I said, yeah, maybe, maybe not. I said, fine, I'll see tomorrow. Because Wednesday morning early, I got up to go set up the booth with them. And I got in early. So as you get in, the first thing you do is get your ticket, but you also get your loot bag. And in the loot bag is the magazine, and obviously your first look at what the Kraken will be. So, it's a carrier with a flight deck on top. This does look very, very cool. Definitely something which will be useful to many organizations that want to get to certain points with ships and lots of fighters. Definitely a niche that was missing. The Kraken. How much is it going to be worth? How are they going to pitch this to us? How will it be introduced? Now, first of all, they had a massive, massive display of the Kraken made by JR Fabrications out of Scotland. And on the actual Kraken itself, I didn't realize this was there the first time. Someone came up and told me there was a tiny, tiny little crate, and on that crate was the Tesla logo. So thank you, JR Fabrications, for putting that there as the cutest little Easter egg that everyone loved, and we appreciate you sticking it in there for us. But let's talk about the Kraken itself. We're sitting down in the big hall, listen to the keynote, and this commercial comes on. Let's jump to that. All right, we're leaving Tesla Spaceport. A beautiful sunset. Everything is calm and relaxed. Amazing you can simply leave the surface of a planet without load screens, but pay attention to this. See this background? This background wasn't made for this commercial. That's in the game. That's what the nebula looks like. Isn't that beautiful? We haven't seen that yet in the game itself, but the technology is in place. And off we are whisked to a darker, purplish kind of nebula. Looks kind of scary. Where is this taking us? The audience at this part was all quiet, sitting down, waiting to see what's going to happen next. We're not sure what this is a commercial for at this point. We are whisked off to a lone asteroid in the middle of nowhere. There's a shining little light, and we see it is a tiny pioneer working away, trying to make a buck, sipping on his coffee, when suddenly a shadow creeps up over the pilot seat, and he's met by pirates.
This claim is ours. I'll make this easy for you. Leave now, or we'll kill you.
At this point, we don't really know what this is going to show us. We suspect it's going to be the Kraken, but I mean, it could be anything. So let's play a bit further.
I might be evil one.
Now we know for sure what this is. A huge, huge shadow covering that entire asteroid. We know it's going to be the Kraken. We know what it looks like. How can they possibly impress us? Well, let's see. The pirates looking up. WTF, what is that? This scene here, while it's so short and small, what you're not hearing is the crowd reaction to this. Everyone burst out laughing. There were applause. It's such a small little thing, but RSI or CIG injecting a bit of humor. The guy's like nonchalant about it. He doesn't care if there's pirates facing down. He knows his buddies in the Kraken have his back, all calm and relaxed, has a sip. The crowd loved this. And here, when that guitar riff started, all right, the crowd burst out in applause. We're not talking little golf claps. We're talking full on. Everyone's like, yeah, yeah. This got the crowd so pumped up. And off it goes. Everyone's loving it at this point. It starts to spit out fire in every single direction. The applause just got louder and louder and louder. The crowd is cheering at this point. Going, yeah, yeah. It was so funny. The energy in there. And you know, it never ceases to... Okay, very nicely done. I mean, explosion, big turrets. The guy's still sipping his coffee. Everyone's laughing now. Look at the shield impacts. Isn't that beautiful? And this is all in-game. And obviously, the signature move of Test Squadron, which is why we had to buy these Krakens. Ramming.
Drake Interplanetary. We got your back.
And off he goes to continue his day of just mining calmly along there. Nicely done. All right. There is a Q&A on the Kraken if you want to go over that. Everything is in there. There are a couple of interesting questions which we had. Well, first of all, crowd reaction, overwhelmingly positive about it. Everyone who said, yeah, they're not buying any more ships, when they saw that, said, you know what? This is different. This is something which is actually pretty important and useful to organizations. If you want to forward-based operations, this is the ship which is going to do that. Now, Idris P owners are a little concerned here. I own Idris P. Now they're putting this out. This is power creep. Well, not so fast. And this was answered in a way. We're going to get to the question down here in a second. How does the Kraken's armor compare to other ships in its size class like the Idris? The answer was, in true Drake fashion, the approach to construction of prizes pragmatism at cost effectiveness. Consequently, the Kraken is substantially less sturdy than the Idris. Thank you. If you want an Idris, that Idris is going to be far better suited to capital versus capital battles. If there are capital ships in the area, the Kraken will most likely be the first one to get blown up because it doesn't have the shielding and armor of something like the Idris. Now, the Idris M with a railgun will destroy these Krakens pretty fast, but the Krakens have lots of craft on them that can go out and do a lot of damage to other ships. There's going to be balance, so if you're an Idris owner, don't worry about it. There will be a lot of balance made in the game for that. Some other interesting questions which were answered, for example, do the shields cover other ships on the deck? For example, the Cutlass sitting right there. Is that going to be covered by the shields of the Kraken? The answer is no. Anything on the deck is susceptible to fire. If someone goes and strafes the decks, those ships are going to get hit. I think that's a good balancing mechanism. The Kraken does refuel and restock and repair. That's why I said it's a great forward base. Quantum travel, if you can park it on a deck, this thing will quantum travel. Plans for landing while it's in motion. Yes, there will be automated landings. So combat landings, looks like we have them. All automated. Thank you, because I can't fly to save my life. Overall, nothing really too fascinating and new. We all knew pretty much all the answers, and I love the interior of the ship. Black and yellow all the way. The best colors, obviously. There was a massive spike in the crowdfunding here. $1 million just yesterday. This month is not over yet, but I think we're way over 3 million in funding for this month already. So obviously this is a big hit. A lot of people waiting for a capital ship like this, and so far everyone seems very happy. Next question is, when do we get this in the game? Because we're all dying to get in there as fast as possible. That we do not know yet. So that was essentially the crowd reaction for the Kraken. Overwhelmingly very positive. Everyone loved it, and you'd think this far along that people would have had enough of the crowdfunding, but you know what? Going strong. Everyone is still opening up their wallets and more than happy to contribute to this project all these years later with the delays and everything else. So thank you everyone that helped, that actually put money towards the Krakens here. And obviously we can see the results. A lot of funding came in for that. May we crash them well. Give me your thoughts on the Kraken. How much do you love it? How many does your org have? Post below. As always, thumbs up if you enjoyed this content, and I will see you in number 4.